Meteorologist Mark Muller for February 19th, 2013. Let's take a look at the system moving across the eastern portion of the country right now. You can see it. It's moving through the northeast right now. We still have some temperatures below freezing here in New England, so keep an eye out for possible sleet, freezing rain, snow mixing with plain rain, but we're not looking at a major winter storm. We do have possibility up here in Maine as this precipitation gets up here in Maine. But behind it we see a lot of cold air behind this system, and that's going to set the stage. That's why you're seeing winter storm warnings across Nebraska and Kansas, central Kansas up to Nebraska, Omaha, extending southward here just east of Denver area. We get into the southwest here. This is the beginnings of the makings of this system. Look at all these winter storm warnings all the way down to the Mexican border here for these elevations 3,500 feet to 5,500 feet. This is where we could see on the order of snow levels coming down, snow levels 6 to 10 inches with locally higher amounts to 18 inches in some of the higher elevations. And those warnings stretch all the way up the Sierra Nevada mountains, and we'll continue to watch that. Other than that, we'll have another system coming into the Pacific Northwest soon. Let's take a look at the liquid precipitation amounts. Liquid precipitation, most of it, the lion's share of it, will be across the southeastern United States here. This is where we've got a good deal of moisture with this system. And we also have a number of other things going on with this system. It will track up across the north central plains here. And this is where we'll see a lot of this liquid you see here will actually be in the form of a blizzard. And we'll get into just how much we're expecting. And across here, out west, this is where we've got a lot of higher elevation snow. A lot of the valleys won't see too much, but on the Pacific Northwest, we got that next system rolling in the next 24-36 hours. That's where we'll get upwards of 2 to 3 inches. So let's get right into how much we're expecting from this blizzard here. We're going to take a look at some of the amounts, plus the whole wrap-up of the storm. And you can see the storm structure here, very well defined, and it will wrap up across the central plains, move northeastward across the plain states, a little bit further south than anticipated, because this thing's really going to dig into the desert southwest here. You can see the jet stream really amplified here across the central portion of the country, and that is going to bring the low right up through the central states here and bring severe weather all the way up the Mississippi River Valley here for Thursday into Friday. That will continue eastward into Friday, and we'll continue to watch that for the southeast as well. But the snowfall, the lion's share of the snowfall is going to be back across here, Kansas, Nebraska, upwards of 1 to 2 feet likely, heading on into western Iowa. And that snow will spread its way northeastward towards Wisconsin, northern UP of Michigan, and then on up into Canada, Ontario. And that's where we'll see. We're not so certain the snow will really get into Fargo and Winnipeg and these other areas in the Dakotas. But southern South Dakota is under winter storm watch, so we could get some accumulating snows in here as well. This is a rather large system, and you can see in the northeast it stays mostly rain in the mid-Atlantic. We'll probably get those icy spots here and those normally cold valleys across the Appalachians. And here in northern New England, that's where we could also get some hazardous spots, but we're not looking for any major snows out of this system in the east. This is mainly going to be in the central and northern plains, and severe weather here in the south, flood potential high as well from East Texas over to Georgia. So keep an eye to that. Temperatures across the area for the next 4 days here, we're looking at reinforcing shots of cold air across the Great Lakes. That will get the lake effect snow machine kicking in from Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, and even Lake Michigan and Lake Superior and Huron as well. But we'll continue to watch that. Out west here, things remain pretty temperate, and in between, that's where we get the battle of the air masses here. You see this warm return over the Mississippi Valley here, and you continue to watch that cold air pour right in behind that system. So that's where things get problematic, and that's where this system really gets amplified, probably down to about 1,000 millibars across much of the north central plains here. In that system, you can almost see the system on the temperature profile. Those warmer temperatures build east. Look at this. By early next week, we could be seeing highs in the 40s through most of the mid-Atlantic and some 50s as well. So we're really getting into some warmer air across the east. Other than that, there's not much else to talk about. You think things would be stormier with a more negative NAO and an AO index, but stranger things have happened. I'm meteorologist Mark Molnar. Like us on Facebook at MeteoMark. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Here's a 4-day forecast for my hometown viewers from Binghamton to Elmira and the northern tier counties of Pennsylvania.